everybody? It's Phil Russert, and it's Friday night, and you hopefully had a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving and ate plenty of turkey, had plenty of family, friends, and love. Maybe did a Godzilla marathon. That's always the best to do on a Thanksgiving, at least for me, or football, or whatever makes you happy. But hopefully, you had wonderful holidays, warm, happy, healthy, with people you love. And may the rest of this holiday season be great for everybody, and may the new year be rocking and awesome for everyone. So, anyway, we have another live stream show tonight, as we do every Friday with Legendary Illustrations artists. We always feature Will and Kenny because the others, for whatever reason, don't come on, but that's okay because Will and Kenny carry the load with gusto. Anyway, so we've been doing the Jam Piece theme lately, and we're going to continue that. We were thinking about doing tributes to the Green Power Ranger, but some people might think that we were trying to exploit the situation, so we decided not to. So just want to say our regards and condolences to his family and fans. It's tragic. Anyway, on a good note, I have with me the one, the only, the Intercontinental Champion. They killed Kenny Calderon.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm hoping that everyone had a great Thanksgiving.
And we have the one half of the Tag Team Championship. Where there's a will, there's a way played in.
Hey, everyone. How are we doing? Glad to be here. From parts unknown. From parts unknown.
We got to get theme music for both of you, like wrestling intro music, right?
Yes.
Here comes the axe. Here comes the axe.
Demolition. My favorite.
Or for Will, we'll do the Bushwhackers.
Oh, great.
Hey, Bill is with us. What's going on? Bill Lutz, one of the legendary family. What's going on?
Gerald's here. Nice.
Gerald's here. Gerald Motos. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. We hope you had a great one.
Indeed.
We got lots to talk about tonight, too.
Yeah.
I must now join the drawing forums. Yeah, man. Draw along with us, and we'll show what you draw.
Absolutely.
As promised, that's right. Bill is a man of his word. I'm going to be sharing this out. So, Will, while you've got yours out, just for anybody who might be new coming in, we'll put you up here. Tell them what you got going on, and then while Kenny's setting up his camera, we will do the same for Kenny.
You betcha. So today, last session, and the one before that, I'll be doing the Hanna-Barbera Heroes. So I'll just bring it down so you can see a little bit of what we have done, what we've still got to complete. So I'm sort of sketching it vaguely out in my brain and painting as we're going. We've got Birdman.
Birdman!
There we go. There's Venger. We've got Herculoids from last session. So Igu and Zoc and Tara. And a little bit of background. We did a lot of background last session. We've got Kabubi and Shazam happening over there. Kabubi's got to be finished.
That sounds like a giggle word. Like, look at her kaboobies.
Kabubi. It's like kids in my classroom at the back row. Kaboobies.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, thanks for coming out. What's going on? He says he loves him some Herculoids. Yeah, man.
Love it.
I got to show you my toys. They're sitting right here. And Rally's here. Hello.
So this session, we're going to do Frankenstein Jr. and hopefully Jan and Jace, the Space Ghost twins. And I've just been sketching in Blip.
Nice.
Blip.
1 minute he's there, the next minute he's not.
Blip. When you blip on the radar.
Yeah. And Kenneth? Oh, sorry, he hates Kenneth. Kenny?
I do. I hate that name.
Yeah.
So the past few weeks, it's been Thundercats. Adjusted so you guys can see the whole thing here, right? Last week we did Panthro, right? And in all of his Panthro glory. Right? So today I'm going to draw in Wily Kit and Wily Cat on the top of the Thunder Tank. I'm gonna put one of them on the turret that sits on top of the tank, right? And I drafted in Linkso,
Yeah.
right? So he'll be in the cockpit of the tank, and I may very lightly compose what I want to do for Pumaira here, and then hit Bengali right here.
Sweet candy nuts.
Indeed.
Gerald, do me a favor, Gerald. DM me the piece that you drew last week, and I'll show it.
Yeah, he did a really cool Thundercat piece.
Yeah, Bill. He just said Linkso's in the back there, roughed out, but he's gonna put them in. Linkso, Bengali, and Pumaira are gonna be in there for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. And snarf. Tom, what's going on? Tom, drop your links. How's your Kickstarter doing? Last show, Tom launched his Kickstarter. We showed it here. The book looks really good. I pledged. So, Tom Rapka for T3 Comics, please go ahead and drop your links to your Kickstarter. Well, we're doing just good guys here, so no Mum-Ra the ever living.
After a brief conversation with my trusted colleague, Iron Will Playden, I think after I get the core group of Thundercats in, I'm gonna surround them with the bad guys. So Mum-Ra is gonna be incorporated in there.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 panels straight across.
Woo! Sweet candy nuts.
Yes.
Fantastic. Hang on one second. I'm going to take a picture of my Herculoids toys.
Indeed. Hey, do we have Joel Ryan here with us today? That's what I want to know.
Mixing in action with Joel Ryan.
What happened? What I missed?
Joe's not here.
Oh, he's on vacation in Florida.
Not good enough.
He's probably trying to figure out his Procreate right now. Gary's like, yeah, so we don't flood the chat. Let's blah, blah, blah. And then boom, everybody came in and flooded the chat. It's hilarious. Is that code for something, Bill? Bill said he's got a Mum-Ra that would fit in there beautifully. I don't know if that's like a pickup line or a code. Or...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Say what?
He means the drawing, guys. Come on.
Whoa.
It's early, Phil.
It's the holidays.
Well, you know we got a joke like that. Come on. We're trying to we have laughs here, man. We laugh. Right. So check this out before I show Gerald's Bill's on vacation too. Look at that. So let me show you. Nice. These are my Herculoids toys, guys. Check this out. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Very cool.
Nice.
All mine, my precious. Yeah, I opened them for my kids, and someone was like screaming at me, "What are you nuts? They're probably worth money." I'm like, "Yeah, but they're not worth more than my kids being happy." Mm-hmm. So that's my Herculoids toys, and I'm going to show you Jarell number 5. Sounds like a scent, like one of those specials, instead of Chanel.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Your free gift set available now for your $35 purchase at Macy's.
Here is Gerald and his Lino versus Mum-Ra, and you got Panthro and Tigra and Chitara. Very cool.
Yes, indeed.
Sweet. And I'm getting a lot of messages. Very cool. Yeah, Gerald draws with us almost every week when he's able to, and he always shows and shares at the end, and he does amazing work. He usually amalgamates the 2 characters that are being worked on because Kenny and Will do separate characters, but because they're doing jams, he went with the Thundercats. So, Gerald, does that mean this week you're going to be doing the Hanna-Barbera at all?
That would be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So what do you got for us, Gerald? You going to draw with us this week too? And are you going to do Hanna-Barbera? And Gerald's finally doing my Nightcrawler, and it looks so freaking good, man.
Very nice.
I was so ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. I'm so ecstatic. My father's calling me.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, we're going to see him tomorrow. His birthday's on Monday, so we're going to drive
Okay.
upstate and see him.
Sag
We're excited.
season.
My dad will be 75 or 76, and he still bench presses like 130 pounds or 40 pounds.
God
Whoa.
bless him.
Yeah, he's a beast. And Bill was very kind. Bill Lutz, he's sending his art. Should arrive tomorrow, but Hawk Girl, he drew a Hawk Girl for Kaylee, who's a big Hawk Girl fan. Thank you, Bill. Gerald said, yep, Hanna-Barbera Heroes with Will.
Nice.
Sweet cabinets!
Nice.
Okay, so that's that. We got a lot to talk about tonight. A bunch of things. Yeah, I hope so too, buddy. But if it comes Monday, I'll be able to make time to prep it and get ready for the show. Which that's a good segue, Bill. While you're there, I want to remind everybody: Monday night, it's Cyber Monday. We are going to have a live art sale from many of the artists in Legendary Illustrations. I really hope you come out and check it out because it's champagne tastes at beer prices.
I love it.
I'm telling you, it's you're gonna have some wonderful art as like these pieces you see in front of you. I'm also going to be doing this, whether it's tonight and or Monday. The art books that just finished on the Kickstarter. If you missed those art books, I'm going to give you an opportunity to buy them from us on the live sale, and I will print them up and order them with the campaign, and I will ship them out with the fulfillment. So the Kickstarter, people don't, get cheated, but you can still get them if you missed out. I'm going to show these art books shortly. I'm missing the Bill Lutz one because he has all of them, but there's a Bill Lutz one to be included as well, and. So we got some great stuff from Ricardo and Will and Kenny and Rob and Carlos and Bill and Rod, Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime.
Yes.
Keep it.
I've got metal prints to sell. Mike DeBalfo drawing tragedy metal prints. These. Every time I look at you, you sound like Muttley.
I'm trying to hold it in. It hurts.
Speaking Hanna-Barbera, you sound like Muttley.
It's my fault.
Wacky Races is next.
Indeed.
So I got these metal prints that will be for sale as well, if you're interested. All right. So we're going to have a wonderful live art sale. Ed Williams is here. What's going on, my friend? Tom. And also Will's painting. Will that have prints? Will we have prints of these two pieces? We haven't even discussed that yet, but you know what? We'll probably have prints of them as well, but they might be limited. There might be a limited number, but yes, I think we will. And just keep in mind, they're gonna get oversized prints because these are big pieces. So,
Behemoth.
Behemoth. As long as you don't say ginormous, Will.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the rage. Not a
Tom
big deal.
It's not a big deal. You mother. Yeah, Bill Lutz, put down your links to your new book, by the way. And Tom said you sounded like an 80-year-old wheezing. It was hilarious. That's great. Ed, go ahead. Show us your Hulk sketch. DM me, bud.
Do it.
And then I've got two cool things to talk about as far as Filbo Publishing. Well, technically three. Okay. So should I get into those or wait a little bit and we'll
Do it.
watch you draw?
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it now.
Do it.
Everybody get to the chopper.
Do it. Get the on.
Do it
Do it.
now.
Do it now.
Do it now. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Oh, cool. Oh, God. Bill said ginormous Animaniacs. Oh, my Lord. Ginormous is not a freaking word.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
It's not a big deal. Where are my sneakers? All right, so let's check this out. I'm more important than these slides. So Okay. Look what came today. My very first prose book. Yay! So Bill says ginormous. Look at that. It's an 86-page book. F you, Bill. And with love. And look at this cover. That cover was painted by who else but the spectacular, the amazing, the unbelievable outback warrior, the Aborigine killing,
Don't be saying that.
the Aborigine killing, Bolo whipping, portal making,
Jeez.
lizard killing, alligator wrestling. That's not a knife wielding motherfucker. Will, where there's a will, there's a way playing.
That's missing the Ric Flair. Woo!
Woo! Woo! All right, I'm actually an author now. Look at that shit.
There you go.
Too. Look at that. Wow. Wow. So yeah. So this is the segue. Not only did Will do the cover, but the very first short story in the book, called Withered, is going to be adapted into a comic book. And it is illustrated by the wonderful, wonderful Will Playden. So, so Yukon Cornelius is not just saving New Year's, he is drawing my book. And my book is The Devil's in the Details, by Philip Russert. Look at that. I'm so proud of that. I know it's not a big deal to the world, but to me it is. Anyway.
Congratulations, Phil.
Thank you. Don't be nice now, you mother. Yeah. Which segues us to the comic. So, actually, not the comic. Before we get to the comic, this book, The Devil's in the Details, logo by Rob Powers, beautifully painted cover by Will Playden, written and created by Philip Russert, and edited and formatted by J.M. DeSantis. Thank you, J.M.
Huzzah.
Huzzah. Look, we're in Tombstone when you say that. Huzzah.
This is I'll be a Huckberry. This is going to be live on Kickstarter this Thursday.
Yes.
And this is so very special to me. So please
What's going on?
What's that? What did you say?
The accents are jumping in and out. I can't keep up.
Well, none beat your weird hillbilly Australian have fun storming the castle thing. I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
So this is going to be on Kickstarter this Thursday, December 1st. It's a $12 book that comes with the ebook, or you could just buy the ebook for $10. So it's not expensive, but it is a beautiful piece of art, as well as a well-reviewed book. I'm not going to tell you, like I always say, I'm not going to tell you I'm a great writer or not. That's for you to decide, but you got to pick up the book to find out. So I challenge you. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I triple dog dare you. I swear, yes, hey. I say, buy the book, say. All right. So, having said that, holy Jesus. Here is the Kickstarter. So here we have the Kickstarter, and we have Rob Powers with his pseudo voice, and we're going to do this wonderful video. But before we do the video, I'm going to go through the Kickstarter very quickly because it's a very neat and clean and tight Kickstarter, and it's not elaborate. Lance Stewart, what's going on, buddy? Lance,
Anything
we
else?
have an art sale on Monday. Lance, we have an art sale on Monday. Come hang out. Donald, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Everybody should check out Donald's artwork. Give him some love. Okay, so there's the book. There's my handsome mug. There's Jam. There's Cornelius. Yukon Cornelius to you. And I give you a synopsis of each story, the 7 short stories. I give you a little synopsis so you know what you're going for. And then I give you a sample of the first 8 pages of Withered, which is going to be adapted into a comic book in March. And it's going to be drawn by Will Playden. And it's going to be awesome. And you're going to love it because you need to. And I need you to.
Yeah.
Anyway. Ooh, yeah. What you going to do, brother?
It's a wrestling theme this week, is it?
I swear it is.
So there's the cover. And the stretch goals. Will Pladen, again, from the cover, we have a beautiful paper bookmark. But if we hit 1,500, we have a metal bookmark that Will painted. It's beautiful. Angels versus Demons. It's fantastic. And then if we hit 3,000, which I don't expect to, I don't even expect to hit 1,500, but comic size print of the original cover that Will Pladen painted as well. See what you can do. Lance, you need to come. You need to come visit us. You need to be there. We need you. Anyway, Thanks. Appreciate it. Lance, thank you for bagging the books. We're just waiting for the money to come in, and the books will be ready to go. And we're waiting for everybody to complete their surveys. I sent the surveys out today. So if you got your survey, please fill it out. So that's it. That's the campaign. On the campaign, besides the book and the ebook, there are 4 spots open for an original art tier by Sir William of the Pladens, and you can get one of those from him. It's any character of choice, inked, full body inked, 11x17 with a full background for $250. Just know we cannot do your own creator-owned IP. Chris Miller's here, another of our wonderful, awesome, amazing supporters. Thank you so much for coming out. What's going on, guys? Want to remind you, we have the art sale Monday night. Chris, Lance, all you guys, please. Oh, awesome, Lance. Thank you. Guys, please come on out to the art show and support. Even if you're not going to buy anything, just come out, hang out, check out the art, because maybe it's something you might want to buy next time. But come hang out, and we're going to offer a lot of stuff, man. It's going to be a good show, and I'm going to have a lot of work. And I have the work here with me, so you'll get to see it, the originals. It won't be digital, which is even better for you guys. And, again, champagne quality art at beer prices. That's right, because at Legendary, our prices are insane. I'm dating myself. All right, so real quick, I'm going to do this this video to show you what's launching. This book is launching this Thursday, December 1st, and in all seriousness, it's a very near and dear thing to my heart. There's a lot of me in this book. It's a spiritual book. It is not preachy. It is not religious. It's just spiritual and inspiring, and it's fantasy at the same time and supernatural. So hopefully you guys check it out. 7 short stories. Here we go.
Has life had you questioning how and why?
Why does it do that every time I put this video on?
I thought Rob said hi. Hi.
Damn it.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Hi, Rob.
Have you ever had your faith and spirituality shaken?
Of course.
Has life had you questioning how and why bad people exist? Why we slave at jobs we hate, or why bad things happen? Do you look inward at what motivates you to keep moving forward despite the hardships of life? These 7 short tales explore the many possible reasons and motivations in an interesting and fictitious way. You don't need to be religious to enjoy these tales that intend to inspire. We may not have all the answers, but these stories make you think of possibilities many consider.
This Thursday. So every time Rob goes shaken in that accent, I feel like him saying not and shaken, not stirred, like he's James Bond or something.
I imagine Rob sitting in a chair in a study wearing a smoking jacket.
Nice.
But also wearing his baseball cap.
Yeah, right?
Maybe a fez. And a fez.
By the way, the one guy that's sitting on the couch that they close up on with the chessboard, to me, he looks like an old Mel Gibson.
Yes.
When you look at his face, he looks like Mel Gibson. Anyway, so look, it's a $500 goal. It's a $12 book. Zero backers because we didn't launch yet. 21 days. It's only a 3-week campaign. I'm not going into Christmas. I'm not going to do that. It's 3 weeks before, get us done before Christmas. I hope that you, right now, you can click the link to be notified. If not, just when it launches, please hit that green button, back this project. Or if you have to hit remind me later, but either way, I really hope you come out and back it. It's a $12 book, gets you the ebook and the physical book. It's 86 pages, 74 pages of story, and I'm really proud of it, and I think it might be interesting to people. Again, here's the book. Okay, it's 86 pages, short story book. And again, very important, so you know, because Will has to feed his 12 illegitimate kids. The first story is Withered, and it's my favorite of the 7. And it's a more sci-fi, supernatural fantasy tale than anything than any of the other ones in the book. So I'm continuing it as a comic book. Launching in March is the first issue, and Will is currently drawing the book as we speak. I have to get you those edits on the roughs. And that's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, Shay. Yeah, Shay, you're not going to get it from me, cop, huh? All right. And we got the art thing. And then, of course, we'll get into it in a little bit, but I have my writer's contest that I'm doing for Filbo Publishing. If you're a writer who hasn't been published to another company, you've only self-published, I'm going to help you out if you're interested. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help put you on my campaign, and the followers that I have from Tragedy will all have eyes on your 10-page story. And I'm going to get into that in more detail in a little bit.
Awesome.
Indeed.
So it is written. So it shall be done.
Like the commandments.
Yeah, I think one year I'm gonna dress up as Yul Brynner's version of Ramses from the 10 Commandments.
Oh.
Nice.
I'm halfway there. I got the 10. I got the bald head.
You
see the accent?
Yeah.
accent. What the hell was that? What was that? You're so bad at that. Voice acting is not your thing, Will, but you're amazing.
I didn't do
amazing
voice
artist.
acting. I was just actually saying that you need an accent.
Yeah.
I was saying that for real. That was in my accent.
It didn't.
You're saying I can't
sound
even
like
do
an
my own.
Australian
I can't
accent. I
even
was
do
like,
my
what the
own
hell was
voice now.
that?
I'm that bad. I'm that bad. I can't even do my
No,
own.
you can't even do an Australian accent right. What the hell?
You can't even speak with your own voice anymore.
So, Robert Powers just showed up after we were talking about him. And yes, we were saying good things, Robert.
With his
Ed
smoking
Williams
jacket.
has his Hulk. We're going to show Ed Williams' Hulk real quick.
Ready, cool.
Ed Williams inspiration. Hulk. Very cool. He's a very angry looking man. Yeah, we're saying good things about you, Rob. We just played the Devils in the Details trailer that you did and your voiceover. Yeah, you're coming up as Robert Powers this time, not a Facebook user. Very interesting. Good job, Ed Williams. Beautiful work. And you message me? What do you want? Oh, okay. Yeah, send it over soon, Robert, please, so I can put it into print and we can get it going. Thank you, sir. Thank you. What are the messages I get? So, Rob, why don't you draw along with us and we'll show what you draw at the end? Why don't you draw some Thundercats or something? Or do a Thundercat mashup with Hanna-Barbara.
Yes. So
Rob's taking a dump.
Oh, okay.
He
That
said he's
works.
dropping the kids off at the pool. That means he's taking a dump.
Very nice. Okay.
And if your house is like mine, Rob, you're sitting there in the toilet and you're like, Daddy, kind of like Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory. Yeah, I think it works in pencils, Ed. I think it definitely works in pencils. I think the inks would be heavy on it.
It's important to stay regular.
Man,
He
did you
said
ever
we
see
can't
that meme? It was
multitask.
great. It's got He-Man on the toilet and it's got Battle Cat's paw coming under the door. It's hilarious.
Jesus.
And you see the one where you know how He-Man has the fur pelt around his groin? Well, it has Chewbacca with no fur around his groin, standing next to He-Man. Freaking hilarious. People kill me. You slay me. It's hilarious.
So how was you guys' holiday?
No holiday
Thanksgiving-
here.
Well, Will didn't have one because he's in Australia.
Oh no?
No, we don't do Thanksgiving here.
Ah,
Yeah, they didn't have pilgrims come to their shores.
No,
gotcha.
just soldiers.
Free the prison island, please.
Yeah.
Man, I wouldn't live in Australia if you paid me with all the
Yes,
things that can
yes,
kill
you
you there,
would. If I
9-foot
paid you,
spiders
you
and-
would. You'd
9-foot
sell out in 5
spiders
seconds
and
if I gave you
bats
money.
that like pterodactyls and freaking kimono dragon size.
Like
freaking
Land of
things.
the Lost.
Did you say kimono dragons? They're wearing kimonos.
Komodo.
It's not
Komodo.
a big deal.
Smoking jackets,
Komodo.
kimonos. We got a theme going.
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. Oh my god! I think we're gonna have to do a whole bunch of like little tiny caricatures of you, Phil, to sell as tiers on the Kickstarters.
Easily.
You know, you get the Phil Russett, not a big deal keychain
Yeah.
or fridge magnet, or
You get the sneaker magnets.
yes, lawn ornament.
Indeed.
You
The
know.
dad shoes.
The dad shoes doors. The dad
That's
shoes
what I said. My
doorstop.
sneakers, the dad shoes. We'll get a nice Cornelius. What do you call it? Tree ornament.
Yeah,
Nice.
Christmas tree ornament. I think so. Yep.
Sounds like my grandbaby's here.
We could have a Rob Powers voiced greeting card for Christmas.
Yes. Has your holiday ever been shaken?
You don't need to have a good holiday to enjoy this.
Yo, Rob, it ain't me picking on you, man. It's them. Go get them. I got you.
Your Rob needs to narrate my movie. He needs to narrate my biopic.
Oh no! I think you need to narrate the intros to our show here.
Indeed. Indeed.
We say it with love, Rob.
Dude, I have an awesome
Absolutely.
ornament my brother got me years ago. It's Godzilla holding the ripped off head of Mechagodzilla, and when you hit the button, he makes his scream and the eyes light up on the Mechagodzilla. It's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Merry Christmas,
Awesome
kids.
sauce. Sweet candy nuts. I don't know, man. How am I gonna put up with you two from any longer?
It's too late. There's no escape now.
Absolutely not. You know, you're committed now.
So explain to me the normal proceeds for a Thanksgiving. So you got the family coming over, the turkey. Everyone does the turkey thing still. Like, what's the traditions, or do you have your own traditions? What do you do?
So there is the standard American tradition, and then like as a Puerto Rican, like we do things very differently.
Right.
Right. So my mother-in-law just got remarried, right? And he's a white guy, right? Irish, right? So he follows the traditional like standard.
So she married up, okay.
Easy, Phil. Easy. Easy, buddy.
She didn't marry you, Phil. All right, calm down.
Easy.
That gets so defensive.
He's like all nervous to say he's he's a white guy. I mean, he's white. I mean, he's like all nervous and shit.
Nah, not at all.
And then Irish.
I didn't want to go all
He's
PC
the white
like
sheep
yes,
of the family.
a Caucasian man.
Caucasian. He's a cracker.
Caucasian man.
She married a cracker, okay? She married a
Right?
cracker.
Yes. Yes. Like saltine. Okay. All right. So, so in most American households, they have Thanksgiving in the middle of the afternoon. Right?
Right.
Like in Spanish households, that doesn't
There
exist.
go ahead.
We eat like 6 to 7, 8 o'clock at night. It's an event. There's music blaring. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a party. You know what I mean?
So all day, all eating, or just at night?
Oh yeah, no. It's like
All
as soon
day
as the
long.
food's done, there's plenty of food. So it's like, because we drink a lot.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That there's always gonna be food to soak up the alcohol to kind of keep the party going.
That's the only reason for the food.
So it turns into a one vicious cycle.
Right.
You drink so that you can eat. You eat so that you can drink more.
I got it. Yep. Like a Roman senator. Yep.
There you go. So, lots of fun stuff.
Ah.
Yeah, we had music on all day too, and then we have music. The kids watch the parade in the morning, and Santa comes. Then they watch the end of that dog show. I don't know. Anyway, and then while we're making food and everything, we play music for a little bit, and then I sit down and I do a Godzilla marathon.
Right.
I used to watch football. I don't anymore. I kind of just trailed off because I was busy doing stuff, and then the Jets are just disappointing every year, so I kind of lost being a football fan, and
right.
So,
Nope,
but we put Godzilla movies
you.
on and all that stuff. Then we eat. What's that?
Following the Jets will do that to you.
Why I'm gray. That and being a Knicks fan, can't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's why I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah, I actually not sports anymore. I just can't do it anymore. I'm too busy trying to make things happen. Trying to support you friggin' sad ass children of mine.
It's okay. Don't make excuses for the Jets. You've been disappointed too many times. You just can't do it no more.
You ain't kidding. Seeing character Birdman, I can't help but think about it.
I can't do it no more.
Dude, being a Knicks, Jets, Yankees, and Rangers fan, it's so up and down.
I hear you.
So who's in the comments with us? Sean is here. What's up? He's thinking about Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
I love that cartoon.
That's a funny cartoon.
Space goes coast to coast. Remember that one?
Yes.
Also very funny.
Who else is in the chat with
Harvey
us?
Birdman was right out there, man. I remember that was some of the topics and themes were right out there. I loved it.
Let's see, on top of the tank will be.
Who there?
So who's drawing with us? So Gerald isn't he?
Yeah.
Bill?
As far as I
Is
know,
Bill
just
drawing?
Gerald. Actually, I think Bill is. Yeah, Bill and Gerald.
Nice.
Nice, very nice, very nice. All right, so here we go, Sean. What's an Irish 7-course meal? A 6-pack and a potato. I always say the only difference between Irish and Italian is beer and wine.
It's true.
We're
This is true.
family-oriented people. We'll give you the shirt off our back or our foot in your ass. It's up to you. We're God-loving people, and we're loyal to a fault. But yeah, they like their wine. We like our beer.
Indeed. Indeed.
I hear your grandbaby.
I know.
That's
She's,
a good thing.
what? I don't understand.
She must have looked at Will's art.
Why they
That's what it was every time.
Why they want to piss her off so soon?
That's to get you off this show.
Yeah.
Pinch the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Scream so Granddad can get off the video.
Yeah. She loves Papa. She likes coming in here while I'm in here working.
Yeah.
and she'll sit on my lap while I'm working on the computer or sitting at my drafting table, just so she can like touch all my trinkets and like pens and such.
How old is she again?
She's like 1.5.
Oh,
Yeah, she's like 1.5. Little thing, little petite thing. It's Papa's little
well,
panda.
1.5, I would think so.
Yeah, Papa's little panda. So my mom is in town, and she's gonna meet her for the first time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and she brought her a really big plush Minnie Mouse.
Oh,
Yeah. So my mom is like one of those moms that enjoy being a grandma. Like she loves having a house full of people.
Yeah.
Because she grew up like having a lot of people in the house. Like she's the only girl out of like 7 kids, and she's the third oldest.
Right.
So, like that whole like family, like having like all your cousins and nieces and nephews in one place, like she loves that.
very cool. It's good. I like when people are family oriented.
Yeah.
Word them up.
So I think that's a pretty good for Mr. Wiley Cat. Pretty good Wiley Cat. I think we're gonna ink Mr. Wiley Cat in right now.
Lock it in.
Yes. Get my pins together.
I'm about to sneeze. Bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So do they still give March of the Wooden Soldiers around this time of the year in New York?
I haven't seen it, but we put it on. We have the DVD and we put it on.
That was the highlight of my holiday season, watching March of the Wooden Soldiers when I still lived in New York.
Yeah, I never liked Laurel and Hardy. They were wannabe cheap poor man's Abbott and Costello, but that movie is awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that, Will?
No, I haven't.
You've never seen March of the Wooden Soldiers?
With
No.
the boogeyman.
Oh my lord, Will!
When you
you're
said
so
that, I thought-
uncouth.
When you said that, I thought, are they talking about like the Nutcracker soldiers? Those.
Yes.
They are in the movie.
Yeah, because they have to use the Nutcracker toy soldiers to fight off the boogeyman.
Yes.
Oh, right.
They're the bogeymen actually.
The bogeyman.
Yes.
Dude, it's fun. It's nice. It's funny. It's fun, and it's a tradition. You should check it out.
Yeah.
What are your Christmas tradition TV shows and movies that you watch with your family, Phil?
It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, what do you call it? A Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rah, 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 rah. Chop.
Rob. Did you say Rob?
Yeah.
Rob.
The Peanuts, of course. Charlie Brown Christmas.
Sure.
Yep.
All the stop motion stuff like Rudolph and Baby New Year, with Yukon Cornelius, and and then Frosty the Snowman, of course, cartoons and
all the Rankin
all that
Bass
stuff. Yeah, Rankin, exactly. And Earl, Burl Ives at the beginning as the Snowman. So yeah, those are really the stuff we mostly watch.
No Lampoons?
Oh yeah, National Lampoon. Well, the kids don't watch that, but Steph and I will watch it and laugh.
Maybe we can come in a little closer.
What about the new ones like the Santa Claus movies and stuff? Do you watch those?
The kids love the Santa Claus movies that what's his name, Tim Allen did.
Tim Allen.
and stuff like that. I don't really watch any of that shit.
I think he's just done a new one, hasn't he?
Yeah, one that
did
he
he?
just announced.
And
Yeah.
you know they have the new Christmas Story, right? Where the kid's old. What's his name is older now.
Yeah. You shoot your eye out, kid.
You'll shoot your eye. Here's the funny thing. We show that to Kaylee, and anytime my wife makes a meatloaf and mashed potatoes, she goes, peeky, 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 and she just shoves her face in it. I'm like, Kaylee.
But
She
worth it.
starts going, and she just puts her face in it and starts giggling and laughing. I'm like, oh,
I love it.
yeah. I can't get up. Hilarious. The triple.
They really
dog
don't-
dare.
They really don't make classic Christmas cartoons like they used to, do they? Like,
Nope.
like for a while there, they had a whole bunch. Like they had, the Yogi Bear Christmases and
Oh yeah.
Dude, they put horror films on during Christmas time now.
yeah.
Shoot, there's one that like literally like had me like crying. It was so funny. Like it's one of those films that's like so bad it's funny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's where Bill Goldberg plays Santa Claus.
Oh my lord, the wrestler.
Yes.
So what does Santa Claus spear Mrs. Claus? What the hell?
Yes. Well, not Mrs. Claus, but like there's a scene that's
Oops.
freaking hilarious. He's in someone's house, right? And they're complaining about not getting the gifts that they wanted. And he puts a guy through a wall, dude. Like it's
Oh my
hilarious. It's hilarious.
What's it called?
Santa has intro music.
I'll tell you. Hold on.
I think I need to see it now.
Oh, it's hilarious.
What's it called?
I'll tell
I'm
you.
gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. So you can draw. I'll look it up.
Santa's sleigh, as in SLAY.
Oh my god.
That's
Okay.
on the list. That's on the list. Santa's sleigh.
Santa's sleigh. Okay.
It's a 2005 film. Oh my lord.
Yes,
Oh my lord.
That's on the list.
dude. And Bill plays a pretty good Santa Claus. Let me tell you,
That
Love
is
it.
hilarious.
like a gruff, hardcore Santa
Yep.
Oh my lord.
nails it.
That is hilarious. All right, here we go. You asked for it, people. You're the ones who showed up to this damn thing. All right, Will, I'm sending it in our monkey chat there. I'm
Okay.
going to share it now.
The
I'm going to
monkeys.
share it now.
The monkeys.
The monkeys.
The monkeys.
All right. Here we go. Bill Goldberg as Santa in Santa's sleigh.
Isn't that intimidating?
I bet you this thing made a ton of money while I'm trying to get my books out there.
Yeah.
What the
Yep.
Sean said, I'm looking forward to Violent Night in theaters in a couple of weeks. It's a mix between Die Hard and Home Alone. It looks hilarious.
Yep.
You know, they
That's
have a
another
new Winnie the Pooh horror film. It's not
Oh.
a Christmas horror film where all the characters became violent carnivores because Christopher Robin's like forgot all about them.
Oh, talk about separation anxiety.
Yeah, right. Get a safe puppy or something. Get like a cuddle
Yeah.
puppy.
Christopher Robin forgot about us. I think I'm going to kill you now.
I'm going to eat Piglet. I mean,
Yes.
Actually, I think he does. Yeah, and well, did you see, remember the News and Review? They had the News and Review horror film. Man, at least they're coming up with different stuff. That's a good thing. Instead of regurgitating the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's better than remaking Home Alone or something, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
That was one of those things that shouldn't have ever happened.
Bad move.
They remade Home Alone.
Yeah. Like
Why?
they did a remake and then they went straight to streaming and then like or rather that was the most
Delete.
recent one. But before that, Home Alone 3 was with a different kid.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You can't, and you can't really replace John Hughes. Like, you just can't
At all.
as director. Like, you just, what are you doing?
At all. That, as far as comedic directors go, John Hughes, for me, he's like top tier, like masterful.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That I don't think he's done like a bad movie that, regardless of however wholesome, still like resonates with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I forget, did he do The Great Outdoors?
I don't know.
Because I love that movie.
He certainly epitomized 80s family comedy. Like
Yeah.
even though there was lots of adult
Yeah.
jokes in it, everyone could watch it.
Absolutely.
Who did Harry and the Hendersons?
Yes. Joel Lithgow.
Yes.
Yeah, did he
that
do
was a
that
huge
movie?
movie.
By the way, we have a question from Tom Rapka. Will, how long have you been painting, and what is one of the things that really like on how to do real?
Sorry, say that again, Phil. You bopped out there for a second.
Tom asked how long you've been painting, and what are one of the things that really made it click for you on how to do realism?
Oh, well, I've been painting for a long time, but probably gouache that I'm using now. I think I probably started like really trying to figure it out maybe around about 2013, maybe 2014. But when I was younger, I did a lot of oil painting, so that was so my understanding of color and paint started maybe when I was about 25. So it's been a while,
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I guess I was never really comfortable with the oil painting. It never really gave me what I wanted, and I tended to lean towards more drawing mediums. So, like the last. Do you remember that piece I did, Phil, that sold? I think it was. I think Terry bought it. It was the Lois and Superman piece.
Yeah.
The 1950s. Yeah, that was the last colored pencil piece I really did of that era of me just working on color pencil, because I wasn't really comfortable with paint. It wasn't giving me what I wanted in terms of quality. But it's been a journey trying to figure out how to use things. I mean, nowadays with YouTube, it's a lot easier, but before then you kind of had to figure it out or find a book or, try and reverse engineer paintings and do them that way. But it's been a while learning how to paint, but and even now, like I get things to a quality where I think, oh, I'm pretty happy with that, and people seem happy with that, but I still see things that I know always need to improve. But that always happens because you're trying something new. So every time I do a piece of work, I try not to make it cookie cutter. I try to experiment and try to change things up, like, put things in a distance or bring things in the foreground or try different color schemes and, yeah, just try different things. In terms of what was the other question? What was the second part of the question?
God, you rambled so much.
So how long I was painting for, and
I'm just kidding. What was the one thing that helped you with realism?
Well, I think when I left school, all I knew how to draw was comic book stuff. So comic book style, and a lot of it was the anatomy sort of I made up in my head. I would fill things in. So, and the problem with that is a lot of my characters started looking very similar in terms of proportions and faces and things like that. When I went to do a couple of years of art school, I had this incredible life drawing teacher. So every day, every two, it was 2 days a week for 3 years, we had life models come in. So they would come in, they'd take the clothes off, we would draw them, and we'd learn the anatomy in the room, But what they would do is, while we were drawing them, is that they would change pose depending, they'd change pose every 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 1 minute, you know, so you had to do it quickly, right? So you had to understand the anatomy pretty quickly.
Which helped your
But the
muscle
one,
memory, right?
yeah, so I mean, you ended up looking at the human figure as a problem to solve, right? So I stopped looking at it as
Well,
this romantic.
I look at humans as problems to solve, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I wasn't looking at it as this romantic idea of the nude. It was okay. How do I twist that rib around, and how do I get the hip bones to, you know, connect with the ribs and move down? Which leg is locking in, and how does that leg gravitationally hit the ground so it's in line with the base of the throat? I mean, all of these things were challenges, right? How do I make that move and bend and twist, and then they change pose? So, but the one thing that I learned that still stays with me today, that clicked me out of that idea of semi-realism or cartoon work to realism, was understanding space. And it still works for me today. So like, if I look at Igu, for example, I'll use him as an example here. Is he on screen, Phil? I can't quite see. I think he is.
Mostly. Pull it a little more to the right.
All right, let me just move it over. Is that better?
Yeah, I'll put you on main screen.
Okay. So looking at Igu, for example, if someone was posing that for me, right, even if they didn't look like Igu, what I would be looking at is, first off, where my light source is coming from. So understanding how that's going to play out in my dramatic sort of imagery. But I look at space. So as I'm drawing, I'm looking, rather than making up as I go all the time, I'm looking at the space between the thumb and the upper bicep. And then I'm looking at the space between that hand and that hand. And sometimes if I'm drawing something, I'll draw the negative space, which is this space that is not Igu, around him, so that I got that shape correctly. And that would inform the rest of it. Because sometimes when I'm drawing, and I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I get carried away and I think, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then before I realize, my figure's slightly out of proportion. Especially when you're doing figures where you've got a perspective looking up. I tend to have to look at the negative spaces so I get that working correctly. So space became a huge thing. And I remember calling out to my teacher, Lorna, who used to walk around smoking a cigar in class, which is mildly inappropriate. Anyway, she was great. Anyway, I remember saying to her, listen, you know, I think I've figured it out. It's about space. It's about how things lock together and how it all relates together. And she was so excited. It was like this aha moment that kind of stayed with me forever. But for me, it's the same all the time now. So it's always about the space. And when I moved into doing formalized portraiture in the 90s, that's what informed it. So I could start with an eye, and I could move right around the face pretty smoothly because it was about space. And if I kept the space accurate and correct, then I didn't have to rough out an entire page. I could just move around it pretty smoothly. So, so from that point of semi-realism or cartoon work to realism, that was the difference for me, is number one, understanding space and understanding how light informs the form, and that you don't always need to outline things because we don't have outlines in real life. So light became my outlines, using dark against light, using old methods of the masters like chiaroscuro, where they have a dark background and a lighter foreground. So it's things like that that always informed how to push it to realism. Is it photorealism? Nope, definitely not. I don't want to do photorealism either. I want it to look like a painting. So it's realism in the sense that, yeah, it might feel like rock on Igu, or it might feel like feathers on Benjul, or it might feel like the rocks in the distance of Monument Valley. All of those things, right? If it's convincing and it creates the illusion, then I've won. I hope that answers the question.
He said that he hadn't heard anyone say that about negative space before. That's very interesting. And prior to that, he said that your work is stunning. It's rarely seen. You know, he rarely sees people painting comics other than Alex Ross, which is insane. Yours is really good. The realism reminds him of Alex Ross. It's stunning, great work.
Oh, thank you. I mean, there are a lot, not a lot. There's a few doing it. Like, you've got incredible artists like Joe Jusko, who does it
Mhm.
still.
Mm-hmm.
I love his work. I mean, I've loved it since he was doing the Conan covers back in the 80s and 90s, the Savage sort of Conan. So he's doing a lot of stuff. I know he's just doing a whole bunch of Marvel Presents kind of box art stuff now at the
Mhm.
moment. And he did a bunch of corner box art, which sort of inspired me to do it as well. You've got, Bill Sienkiewicz does a lot of incredible painting, and like he is someone that, can stretch his muscles and do super realism, or he can stylize it and do what
He
he
does a lot of
does.
abstract.
Beautiful stuff. And like seeing his work on the covers of Wolverine and Havoc and Elektra and some of those other ones he did back in the day were fantastic. But still creating incredible work. I mean, yes, Alex Ross. I love Alex Ross's work, but there are many others that are doing it as well.
Mhm.
Even like I nearly said Rick Rude, but Steve Rude. He does a lot
Rick
of
Rude.
paint.
It is a
I nearly said
wrestling
Rick
thing.
Rude. Going with the wrestling thing, but Steve Rude does a lot of painting and overlay with pencil work. In fact, he did some Hanna-Barbera stuff not long ago. So he did all the covers for, was it Future Quest? Was that the name of the comic with the Hanna-Barbera heroes in it?
I forget what it was called.
I think it was Future Quest. But anyway, so he did the covers for that with Birdman and Mytor. But yeah, there's a few. I think you just got to do a bit of searching. But yeah, definitely Alex Ross is pretty known for his stuff. I mean, he's promoted well. He's out there. People know his name. He's got giant billboards at Comic Cons. It's pretty incredible.
Mhm.
So growing up, what did you look at that made you want to draw? Let's go to Kenny for a minute because you just talk too fucking much. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. So Kenny, growing up, what were the things that you watched, or what were the mediums that like cartoons or movies, or what made you say, "Oh, this is so cool! I want to start drawing this stuff."
Okay, so off like immediately, it would be Voltron, He-Man, Thundercats, and Adam West Batman.
Okay.
So all of those IPs or TV shows were things that I watched regularly, and they influenced me heavily, right? Because my thing was, because I was so introverted as a child, I spent a lot of time like to myself, and I was always drawing stuff. So my brain was always like thinking about the opening sequences to those shows, and how dynamic those sequences were. So I think my mom actually still has some of the books that I like vandalized with pictures of Batman and Robin and like
Mm-hmm.
really rudimentary images of Voltron, and all of that got me into uh, comics, right? That my first full like comic book that I read was Miller's Man Without Fear,
Ooh.
and that's what like really did it for me. Because just, I mean, it was the art style for the time. It was the story that was being told. It was gritty. It was, it was based in New York. You know what I mean? So it was something that I was able to sort of uh, relate to, right? And it wasn't. It was. I mean, granted, it's fiction, right? But it was still grounded enough to where like I can be Daredevil. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like, and I grew up in the age where we watched a lot of like kung fu movies on the weekends. So
Mm.
Oh
like,
hell yeah! Saturday of drive-in theater.
exactly. So it's like, Blind Ninja, sign me up. You know what I mean? And from Daredevil, it was the Ditko Spider-Man run. And then I was exposed to Superman like through the movie first, admittedly, and then I started reading the comics because like Golden Age Superman
Okay.
was wacky. But when they started, giving Superman more serious storylines, that's around the time that I got into him.
Aaron's talking about Boris Vallejo's fantasy art was second to none.
True.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Gonzalo Mayo, his run on Vampirella is legendary. That for a guy that was illustrating Vampirella during the 60s and 70s, his art was ahead of its time because it was like super detailed.
Yeah.
And he's got that signature classic like style when he does his women. I think Perez was one of the first, and Kirby, imitated that look a bit.
So, more importantly, who's your favorite Thundercat?
More importantly,
It's a joke.
Panthro.
Me too. What about you, Will?
Favorite Thundercat?
Did I stutter?
Do you ever not?
So sassy tonight.
I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
stutter. And don't talk back.
I think out of I liked Panther was always cool. I liked Tiger too.
Yeah.
He was always the cool head.
Yeah,
He was the wise one.
I never liked
Aaron was
Lionel.
like, I like Chitara, man.
Yeah.
A few tissues, a little lubricant.
What?
Phil, it's the holiday.
Hey, there's no discrimination when you got to do what you got to do.
It's the holiday.
The holiday yesterday. Oh, Greg Johnson is here. Johnston, what's going on, Greg?
All right.
And Aaron, see, I know Aaron. He said damn right. I wasn't making that up.
I think everyone had those same feelings of Chitara and Tila, and
Not me. They were cartoons. I
yeah,
like them real.
I'm sure.
Don't be jealous that all you had was a cartoon at that age.
Me adjust.
It's okay, Snarf. We all know how you feel.
There you go.
Oh, and Kenny, there's another one. We always watch The Grinch, obviously. Or Will, you asked. We always
True.
watch The Grinch.
True.
And
The
Greg
Ah,
is
The
watching
Grinch.
The Grinch now. No, I don't watch the Jim Carrey one. I watch the cartoon, the original.
Yeah, the Boris Karloff one.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Tom said April O'Neil. So now everybody's telling us what cartoons they whacked off to. That's good to know. There's always a great show when
You guys are out of
when the
control.
chat is telling us the cartoon females that they really enjoyed.
It's a new low on the show.
I'm telling you, we go so many different places, guys. Come on in.
Safe space
Out
to
of
share.
control.
Did you see Thundercats in the early 2000s? Yeah, it wasn't bad. I didn't like. I mean, the art was okay, and they changed it up, which is fine. It wasn't bad, but that new one that I won't even look at that.
The most recent one is trash. I hate it.
The 2000s one.
Tom
was
goes,
alright. I
what?
liked
I
it.
missed that part. Laughed my ass off. I thought you were talking about crushes. Oh, shit.
That one I actually.
Listen to this man. At 10, Chitara was real enough for me. Yeah, you were wishing you were that bow staff. And he goes, and Baroness, Lord.
Baroness, I could understand.
Aaron. Oh my Lord. So, all right. Well, we're on a subject. Scarlet with Duke or Scarlet with Snake Eyes? I was always a Scarlet and Duke guy.
Scarlet Duke.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Will?
I agree.
Scarlet Duke. Because Scarlet Snake Eyes feels a little mismatched.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a loner. Why would
Yeah.
She probably just liked him because he never spoke. Which
could be an allegory for something deeper.
Yeah, I was hitting at that. I was just joking though. But Tom goes, Goro. You guys are getting bad in there.
Goro.
Man, you guys are getting really bad in this chat. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame. See what you started, Will?
It's all me.
It's always Will.
Yeah.
When in
It's
doubt,
all
blame
me.
the Australian.
Parts unknown. Does it
Scarlet was
again.
smashing Snake Eyes. Jesus Christ, Aaron. Oh my Lord.
It's nearly Christmas, Aaron.
Let me tell you something. We're not getting anybody to buy art. They'll be like, those people are disgusting.
It's nearly Christmas.
Those guys are disgusting. They're horrible human beings. He said, y'all ain't want that smoke. Sorry, I'm a cracker. I don't know what that means. No, I do know what that means. I'm just kidding. But if I spoke like that, I would really sound stupid.
Like
And then
actors.
Tom's talking about, oh man, Rogue, 90s Rogue. You guys are killing me. Ugh. Oh, you're killing me.
It's not a big
Cold
deal. Phil.
girlfriends.
Not
Cold
a big
girlfriends.
deal.
It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Hell is this? Anyway, is this a good time to mention the writers contest?
Go
Yep.
for it.
All right, because we're at an hour and 20, and we're going to wrap it up soon.
Yep.
All right.
Do it.
Do it.
As you all know, I am the CEO, President of Filbo Publishing, and Filbo Publishing is growing. We have a bunch of titles coming out this coming year. I have other things that I can't announce yet that are pretty big. So it's going to be a legit publishing company, no joke publishing company. And for all of you who know me, know I do things 10,000 miles an hour. I do it right. I do it as professional as possible. And, I've always got my hand in a ton of cookie jars. Having said that, big publishers are not going to really help the little guy. They're just not. And look, I understand it's business. They're not going to take a risk, an investment risk on you, and that's their business models. And that, they've been in business for a long time and they're successful, and there's something to that. But I do believe that you can take a risk every once in a while, help the little guy, and still make money and succeed. Now, I don't have distribution yet. Yet is the key word. But right now, I'm offering a contest to writers. And I will put this all in a written post for everybody. But writers, it's hard to get, your stuff out there, right? Because you have to convince people to buy and read the product, right? And even when you give it away for free, it usually winds up in a pile somewhere or something, and they don't read it. And, someone looks at art, like you look at what Kenny's doing and what Will are doing right now, and you're like, wow, that's beautiful. Right away, you get to see it, it's beautiful, you want it, and you know how talented it is. You don't get perverted with you want it. Anyway, and you know how talented they are. But as a writer, how does a writer get that out there? How does a writer get that out there like that, right? So you're killing me, Will. So man, and you're catching them. I throw them in slow and steady. All right, anyway. So my tragedy campaigns do pretty well. Am I hugely successful? No, but they're $10,000 to $13,000, almost 300 backers. So I thought I'm going to be doing the collected trade paperback in the spring or summer of tragedy. So the contest winner is going to get their 10-page story put on the back of the tragedy trade paperback 1 through 5, and your 10-page story will be a backstory on the end of it. And you'll be shown to the 300 or so backers that, hopefully come out to the Kickstarter, who have been coming out. And hopefully, you can get some notice. Now, the winner is not getting a contract with Filbo, but you are getting Filbo Publishing, but you are getting an opportunity on this Kickstarter to be published for the 110-page story. Here are the stipulations, though. If you've self-published before and you've been on Kickstarter, you are eligible. If you have used a third-party publisher like SourcePoint Press or Scout, etc., you are not eligible. This is for people that are trying to get out there and haven't had an opportunity or don't know how to, etc. All right, and I will list specifically the criteria. This is not for people who have worked for major companies. It's not. It's for the starter. It's for the person trying to get recognized, or someone who's done their own Kickstarters, but they've only reached, $1,000 or $1,500, and they're trying to increase. That's what this is. But I am going to tell you, yours is going to be a separate tier because you need to promote, you need to push yourself, you need to market your own product. Because if you get picked up by an indie publisher and you keep your creator rights, you're going to have to do that work. And part of it is to see who's going to do that. And maybe that leads to something in the future, but that's really entirely up to you and how you promote, how you market, how you handle your IP, how you handle your business, etc. I'm going to be giving you a deadline to accept the 10-page scripts. I am going to pick the winner of the script. The winner is responsible for having the 10 pages illustrated and colored. Unless you want it in black and white, that's up to you. I don't recommend that, though, because black and white books do not sell anywhere near as well as color. I would rather it be full color, if I'm to be honest with you. The only way I'll accept black and white is if it's like some really gritty horror film or a horror book or something that the black and white complements and it makes sense. But even then, I recommend you color it just for sales value. So you're going to turn in your scripts, and I'm going to pick a winner. The winner is going to be responsible for their creative team, drawing and lettering and everything in the book. If you are new and or don't have any idea who to get, we have a creative team for you. I have artists, I have letterers, I have colorists, I have inkers, I have someone to do your logo and your trade dress, and we can even format the book for you. But you have to pay for it. Like a publishing deal, if you went through Image, you would have to pay for your own book and your own creative team, but they would publish you and get you out to the audience. And that's what I'm doing. I'm getting you out to a larger audience. If that's what you require. If you're someone who's doing $50,000 campaigns, obviously this isn't for you. Okay, because you're already reaching your audience. This is for the guy or the woman that are, maybe they had 50 backers and they reached $1,000 or something like that, and they're trying to get up to the $10,000 to $13,000 range. So there's that. It needs to be PG-13. It cannot be R-rated. There's no sex and there's no serious violence. I'm sorry, but it's going to be put on the back of a book that doesn't have sex or serious violence, so it just wouldn't be a good match. So I'm going to warn you about that right now. This is not where to do a horror story. It's where you would do a superhero story, a fantasy tale, a supernatural tale, a science fiction tale. Those would be the genres that would make sense, and you'd have the highest chance of being picked. If you're doing a romance, it's not going to be the crowd, and you've got to understand that. You've got to pay attention to what tragedy is and what campaign you can be on, so you have an understanding of the marketing and what demographic you're hitting. Now, here's the other thing. I've been asked already by a bunch of people in DM. I had a Kickstarter for my book 3 months ago. It only did $1,500. Can I just take 10 pages of that? No. It has to be a new script. It has to be a new script. And the reason is real simple. You've already reached your audience for those people. How much do I understand you want to grow that book, but that you're already starting with that many people that are not going to back that book. So if you had 60 backers on your book and I accept your book and you put your book on there, that's right off the bat 60 people that are not going to pledge on your tier. You don't want that. You want as many people as possible. You're going to bring your backers over to pledge on your book, and then you're going to be benefiting from the other 240 or 60 or whatever that will be on the campaign for Filbo Publishing. And hopefully those people will follow you when you do your own Kickstarter for that book that you do, or that next thing you do. I want it to be 10 pages of a self-contained story, not a preview of a larger book. You can take, like, say you have a book you're going to do in Kickstarter next year, and it's a fantasy book, it's Dungeons and Dragons. If you want to take that book, those characters and everything, and do a self-contained separate 10-page story so people get to know the characters and the world, so that way it helps you when you launch issue number 1, that is fine. But you cannot be taking 10 pages from that book that you're going to put on Kickstarter, if that makes any sense. Okay? I don't want you doing a preview. I want it to be a self-contained 10-page story with a cover. We're going to put a cover on it. You have to do a cover too. Okay? The other thing is, I have to approve of the artist and the colorist. Now, you may say that's messed up. It's not messed up. You're going on my campaign, and you're going on the back of my book. It needs to hold a standard. I apologize, but I understand budgets are tight, and sometimes people cut corners on art, and it's not acceptable. It's got to be professional looking. So I have to approve. And if you think it's unfair, try going to any of those other publishers. They're going to tell you the same thing. If you went to Scout, they're going to look at your art and say, we want the book, but you got to change the artist if they don't like the artist. That's just the nature of the business, guys. Sorry. It's got to be 10, not 12 or 15. Yeah, I want it 10 max plus a cover. It's 11 pages. It's for a lot of reasons. Some of the rules that are in place are also to see what a person's abilities are besides writing, because this industry is more than just writing. There's marketing, and there's business, and there's learning how to format, understanding how to write for a page count, understanding, are you good? Are you able to have the eye for talent and get the right people in there? And is your sequential work good? And I will provide an editor for that 10-page story to go back to you and say, this background is not consistent with this, or this panel doesn't move smoothly to this one. We will give you professional editing on your 10-page story. You will not have to pay for that editing. We will edit it. Okay, so you're getting free editing out of this. We do have an art team that you'd have to pay for if you don't have your own. And that's the general gist of it. One submission per person. Do not send me 3 because you guys still there? I lost everybody.
Yeah.
I was saying one submission per person, please, because it's not fair to others if you're sending in 3 or 4. It's one, just one. So whatever, if you have a few, pick what you think is the best or fits the best, or you think is your strongest script, and we go from there. I will be clear. You own all creator rights. I do not own any rights. I am not looking for a percentage or to take any rights from you. I will not share your script with anyone. Okay? That's the way it's going to be. I'm not looking for any rights. This opportunity to be published by regularly, even when I go through distribution. It is simply to get you a jump start on Kickstarter and go from there. Now, I'm not going to say that if my publishing company grows and your book is really good and it does well, that maybe we don't, revisit a conversation. But there's also other opportunities. If the scripts are really good, that winner, and maybe even some of the runners-up, may be spoken to about being fee-for-service writers for Filbo Publishing. So there are a lot of opportunities here. I'm gonna put that all in a post. So the scripts, I'm gonna give you time. The campaign will launch in June. So you're literally going to have 7 months to do this. And it's only 10 pages. And to be honest with you, professional level, you should be able to do, 4 to 5 pages a week if you're a professional level artist, penciled and inked. That's a professional level because you have 20 something days to do 20 something pages usually as a professional. So 10 pages in, what's going to be probably 4 months or something is definitely enough time. And if it isn't, then maybe and I'm not saying you, Tom, I'm just saying maybe they're just not ready yet. Because I know my guys, they can do a page a day, So the scripts, I'm going to launch the contest this week, which means this, and I'm going to say the scripts all will be submitted. I'm probably going to do a February deadline for the scripts, and I'll make a decision, and then you will have 3 months to do 10 pages, March, April, May, and whatever in February is left after I make my decision. Okay? If the person is not ready by the campaign, then obviously the contest is going to be null and void, and I'm going to pick the next runner-up for the next campaign, and we're going to move on from there. Okay? We need professionals joining the contest, taking this seriously, and you got to be hungry. You got to want this. Is this going to make you money? Not at the moment, but it might get you in front of a lot more eyes, and it might get you a good jump start when you launch your Kickstarter, bringing over my audience. Okay? So that's the gist of it. I will get more specific rules written down so we cover everything. And of course, any questions, people can come to me and I will respond. And that's pretty much the gist of it. You will get, I pay for printing, I pay for editing, you get my fan base to see your book. You could possibly be hired as a fee-for-service writer for Filbo. You'll have an art team available to you if you don't have your own. You can use your own, but I have to approve of it. And, you'll be marketed. As I market the campaign, you'll be marketed. The book will be marketed out there to people. Anybody who's here have any questions, you're welcome to throw the questions out at me right now. I will make the post, if not tonight, tomorrow. So
great opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I'm going to be very honest. Some people may look like, well, who's Filbo Publishing? You don't have distribution yet. You're not this guy. You're not that guy. Okay. But you know what? I make double digits in Kickstarters, thankfully. I don't mean that as an arrogant thing, but it is a good jump start for someone who's not at that level. And that's what this is about. This is helping someone who isn't at that level yet. Just like I'm not at other people's levels yet. And if they were looking to give me a leg up, that's a great opportunity. So this isn't about ego. This isn't about station. It's about I'm offering you a platform to reach an increased audience from where you are now if you're only reaching 50, 60 people on your campaign. Yeah, and you'll have a published credit. Okay? And that's really sorry, I had a message. Really the gist of it. And I have to reiterate, and I'm just being honest, you're going to have a separate tier of my book with your book attached, because if I put every book with yours on it, you may sit back and say, well, he's going to do, 13, 14,000 anyway, so I'll just sit back and let him do all the work. That's not how it happens. You gotta hustle. So you're going to have your separate tier, and you're going to have to market and push to get people to buy that tier. Now, will you also have the people that follow my campaigns looking at the tier? Yes, of course you will. but you're going to have to put the legwork in as well. Okay? Because if you go to any publisher, if you went to SourcePoint Press or if you went to Scout, they're going to tell you right on their website, you're responsible for paying for your own creative team. They have to approve the artist or they will request a change, and you still have to market. I mean, even if you have distribution, you have to market. If you went to Image, you still have to market. So this is a real publishing opportunity, but on crowdfunding right now. And keep in mind, I will be going to distribution. It's going to happen. So get on the ground floor with me now. We see what happens later. Okay. Anybody got any questions? It is a great way for new people to add to their resume. I mean, how many of you have written, but you don't know how to go about it, or you plan on going to crowdfunding, but you don't have a following? Because a lot of people have a misconception. They think, oh, I'm just going to do a Kickstarter and people are going to come. It doesn't work that way. You have to take months of marketing and promoting and getting out there. And you see how I promote. You see how I push. Well, imagine now I'm pushing your 10-page story like that. There's nothing but a benefit for you. Yeah, Tom, I read it. I remember. That's fine too. If you did like a Kong or a Godzilla, that's fine. We could put that in there. That PG-13, no sex. I'm not looking for booby books. They already make money. Booby books don't need my help. They make plenty of money. Okay? So, keep that in mind. You guys got anything you want to say about it? Any thoughts or any concerns or any questions or anything that you can think of?
No. I mean, I think you covered all bases. I mean, regarding subject matter, genre, and I think that it's a great resource or a great option to give the contestants, the ability to tap into, a stable of artists, and opinions. Whoa.
Sorry,
You
I
good,
just
Will?
died. Phil.
Will's Kung Fu Fighting.
I am sorry.
Way to go, Will.
To give them access to, a stable of artists and designers and so forth, so that, the first outing for the IP looks great, and it doesn't look amateur.
Yeah, I mean, look, for those who understand, it's an aesthetic medium. It's like a first impression, right? You walk up to a guy or a girl you're interested in, they know in the first 10 seconds if you have a shot with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it takes 10 seconds to look at a book for somebody to go, oh, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Not even 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
I thought, Phil, when you were saying too, the idea that, that you're not a big publisher yet and you don't all that stuff. I thought, yeah, but one thing that attracts me to this whole venture that you're doing is that you get to see and be a part of a successful Kickstarter model that's working time after time again. I think at the least, I mean, for those creators that want to get out there for the first time, you can see at the ground level how it's done, how you market it, how you build your tiers, how you build your audience. And I think that's invaluable. That's all invaluable knowledge that is not always taught. So I think that's a nice little gemstone to lure in people anyway, like that alone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. And I'm always a humble guy. I am not sitting there telling you I'm Mr. Big here, blah, blah, blah. but I am at the level I'm at. And that can be beneficial to someone who's trying to break $4,000 on a campaign.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Greg goes, so let me get this straight. A 20-page story about a bloodthirsty murdering transgender prostitute is fine.
Correct.
You know, and
Yeah.
look, I don't mean to
Indeed.
sound like this, but you have to repeat
Indeed.
yourself because you'd be surprised how many times I say something and people just don't listen. I've posted stuff and I've said specifically, don't do this. And they do it. Or I've posted my shows and, you know, when I was doing conventions and it had the date, the times, and the venue address. And the first thing people write, where and when is this? So, unfortunately, you have to repeat yourself and you have to make it clear. And you know, you sometimes come across like you're being a jerk, but people don't pay attention. And I'm going to be very serious too. Not this isn't from ego. This isn't me thinking I'm the shit. But if you can't follow directions, I don't care how good your script is. I can't work with you if you can't follow instructions. It doesn't work. You know.
Mhm.
So I'm going to ask you, if you join, please pay attention to the directions and the guidelines and the rules, and please follow them to the T, or I'm not going to look at the script. And that's not me being a jerk. It's you've got to do it right. You've got to do it the way I'm asking you to do it, so I can help make you, you know, successful with your next Kickstarter. So
Help Phil help you.
Mhm.
yeah,
Help Phil.
but I hate to sound like that because I
Okay.
don't want to sound like you know, some of these bigger publishers. I don't want to be that guy. Shut up, Aaron. He said such a jerk. I don't want to be that guy, but honestly, it's very frustrating and hard when you have to answer the same question that you've already put in the rules, or you have to, you know, I don't have time to follow behind some. You know, like with the art cover contests, it was very clear. I said you have to tag 3 people in this post and share it on your post. You know how many people don't do that? And I got to go and I got to tell them, dude, I can't accept your submission if you don't go tag 3 people and share it on your post. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So you got to do it right the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Link Cell's looking really good.
I'm gonna reveal a little bit of the Thunder Tank.
And again, I don't mean to sound that way. I don't want to be a jerk. But I have to consider my time and my effort as well. You know, I have to be considerate to you, but I also have to be considerate to me. And I'm gonna do. Oh, here's the other thing. You have to follow my Facebook and Instagram Philbo publishing pages. If you're not on one of those platforms, that's fine. Just follow on the platform that you're on. But you need to be a follower of those pages, and that's where you're going to submit on those pages. You're not submitting to Phil Russert's page. You're submitting to the Philbo publishing page. Okay? You're going to DM that page with a PDF of your script. It's in one area so I can find it because I can't be going all over the place because somebody might fall through the cracks, and that would be really horrible if somebody didn't get a fair shake because I screwed up and didn't see the PDF. Would it be okay if an adult character smokes a joint? I ask because I wrote a few shorts that involves 2 stoners as side characters. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd rather not. I apologize, but I'd rather not. If you can write it in a way where it's not obvious what they're doing, as opposed to, you know, you're writing them with the attitude of a stoner, but you're not making it pointed out, oh, look, they're smoking marijuana. I'd prefer that because I'm not judging anyone, but I don't want drugs or sex in my books, really. Unless it was more of a, you know, something along the lines in the story to show the adverse and bad effects of drugs. That would be preferable. Well, look, Sean, if it's a really good script and it's not like blatantly in your face, it'll be considered. If it's blatantly drugs, or Cheech and Chong, no, I'm sorry, I can't accept that.
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah. I just,
Hey,
if
man.
it's a sidebar to the story, fine. But if the focal point of the story is, glorifying being a stoner, and I'm not knocking people who smoke. You do you. I believe in freedom. It doesn't fit tragedy. It doesn't fit tragedy. Yeah, Aaron. Sex already sells. If you put out a booby book, Aaron, you don't need me. That book will already sell. And that's not what tragedy is about, so I don't want it attached to tragedy. I have to maintain the integrity of my property when you guys attach your book to it. So you got to keep that in mind. I'm also considering if there's a runner-up or if there's a tie that I have to break, the runner-up will get an ash can tier of their 10-page story. Because there's very possible that I may not be able to decide. I may think, wow, these scripts are really good. Aaron, you're a mess. You're not even a writer. Don't even come to me with these questions. Go away. Big dog being a pain in the ass. He goes, what if they're killing pimps? Oh, God help me. So, what do you guys think of this contest? Are you interested? Do you have any other questions? Let me know. Hey, Will, isn't Frankenstein Jr. like yellow?
No.
Nope.
Isn't his shirt yellow?
Nah,
Negatory.
it's green, dude.
Wow, I'm so colorblind.
Even I remember that.
Oh, wow. No, he's not yellow. Why did I think he was yellow?
Did
Wow,
Kenny? He
that's so
just double
bad.
checked. He just double checked. Even though you said it was green, he went and double checked.
No, because of my
Cross-reference.
colorblindness, I wanted to see how I mistook it for yellow. He
He's
has
got
yellow
Joe
boots.
Ryan. He's got Joe Ryan in the room, double checking facts. That's what's happening
Uh-huh.
right now.
That's stupid. He's got yellow boots. That's why I thought he was yellow.
It's a funny design, isn't it? I was looking
It
at
is.
Frankenstein Jr. and I think like part of him looks human, but then he's like metal, but then he's got stitching on the side of his head. He's got hair, but he's got bolts in him. Like
Yeah, it's weird.
It's funny. It's a funny design.
Phil, have you always been colorblind?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm not totally colorblind, but I'm really bad.
No.
I mean, I thought you were white. No, I'm just kidding. Until you tell me you're Puerto Rican, I'm like, what the fuck? No, I was kidding. So I know, Greg, why not do it? The deadline is probably going to be the end of January. It's going to give you 2 months to write a 10-page script. And that's the other thing. These are very long deadlines for you. If you can't write a 10-page story in 2 months, then maybe you're not ready. I don't mean that to be a jerk again, but there's the harsh reality of the industry. And I may not be the big guy yet, one of the big guys yet, but I do understand the industry. Can you write it in crayon, Aaron? I wouldn't expect any less from you. But yeah, I'll do a sign-up sheet. Here's the other thing. I need to have at least 10 entries to bother doing this contest. If I don't have at least 10 entries, I'm not even going to bother.
Well,
It's not worth the work.
Everyone who enters should probably share it amongst their writer friends. You know what I mean?
And that's the other thing. You guys are welcome to chat about the contest on the Philbo Publishing page. You're welcome to bounce ideas off each other. Be a community. That's welcome on the Philbo page. I really welcome that. Everybody knows I'm about community. I mean, that's really why I'm doing this, is to try to give somebody a leg up, because I remember, just recently the economy is taking a shitter, and I have friends that were really upset. They're like, my Kickstarter, man, I can't even break $2,000. What the hell? And I thought there were books that deserved it, and my campaign did less as well, but I still did $8,000 and still had 200 backers. So I have a small following, but it's something. So, you know, my worst campaign, you do 200 backers, 8 grand. And my best campaign so far, I did 13 grand and 270 backers or 70 backers. So, that may help that guy who couldn't get 2 grand, or that
Right.
woman that couldn't get 2 grand. And it also is going to get an artist hired. Whether it's through Legendary or not, you're going to be hiring a creative team. It's helping hire other people,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Here's the thing, Phil, too. I was just thinking about what you were saying. I remember when I first started, setting goals for comics. Thinking I want to do some comics. I want to get it out there. I would do, anything as long as I got into print. Like if someone wanted to do something on the Lizard Kingdom, I'd do it. I'd draw it for you. As long as I get a copy and I can get it in print, that's perfect. Short story horror, yep, I'll do it as long as I get it in print. And when you've got those in print, you've got something you can show someone.
True.
And you get the experience.
Right.
So I think sometimes you got to get past that idea that I'm going to make a big profit on this and I'm going to be a big time blah blah blah. Sometimes you just got to work the day job and just get it in print. And it's a good conversation piece to show for your portfolio, and for writers especially, you can show something in print. Like, it's pretty important.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got to remember too, it's a portfolio builder, absolutely. But look at the way I market. How often am I posting? How often am I doing live videos? How often am I getting out there? Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that for your 10-page story as much as I'm going to do it for the Tragedy Trade paperback. So you're getting built-in marketing. You're getting a built-in editor. You could have a built-in creative team if you need. You have a built-in knowledge of a Kickstarter, like Will said, and running the business, and even formatting your book for print. You have a built-in printer. I'm going to take care of the print orders. I'm going to do it. Now, you're not going to get money from the campaign, but you will get comps. You will get a substantial amount of your 10-page book. And so you don't have to pay for that. You're going to have printed books. Now, keep in mind, if you go through other publishers, you have to pay that print run back. They front it, but you pay it back. So I will give you some copies, though, so you could sell and make some money and have for a portfolio.
It's all good. It's all good, everyone.
Yep. Great opportunity. Definitely something to jump on.
And especially too, like if you're a creator that's really frustrated that you can't get a bloody portfolio review at a convention because it's, for whatever reason, you can't get anyone to even pick up a book that you've written or you've drawn. And I'm talking for the artist too, like this is an opportunity to get something in print that's got a built-in audience, and it's got built-in expertise on how to get the thing from idea to physical copy. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
Why wouldn't
By the
you?
way,
And
real
it's
quick,
your own property.
I'm sorry, Chris asked, are we doing any cons in 2023? I haven't signed up for any yet after an exhausting con year last year. But New York is very possible. Baltimore is very possible again. As far as Will being at the shows, it really depends on the status of Will's country, because they weren't letting anybody leave because of COVID. So we'll see. We are talking about having Will present at New York, hopefully, if I get into Artist Alley. Kenny will definitely be there if I go to Baltimore or New York and/or. And there are other shows that I'm going to be looking at, like Terrificon in Connecticut. I did very well at that show. But there are some shows that they just were a waste. They really were a waste. So we'll see. MegaCon, is that the one in Florida, right?
Yeah, that's in Orlando.
Yeah, I do want to go to that one, actually, and I may very well go there. Kenny goes to that show, right?
I did it one year. It's about 3 hours north of me.
If I can get to the con, I will be there for sure.
Yeah. It's a pretty good show.
Yeah, I have no problems doing that show. I will definitely. When is it?
Dude, it's mid summer, early summer, around there.
Yeah, maybe we'll look at doing MegaCon, try some new shows, because
Yeah.
unfortunately, Heroes Con is a great show as a fan. As a fan, Heroes Con is great. But if you're not a big name and you're tabling at Heroes Con, it's brutal.
MegaCon 2023.
What's C2E2 like? Is that any good?
That's in Chicago.
It used to be, but I heard the last two have not.
Oh, really?
Ooh, it's in March this year or next year. MegaCon is in March. The last weekend in March to April the 2nd.
Oh, come on with these.
Yeah. That
kind of soon, I don't know.
That might be kind of difficult for me because I got Puerto Rico in April.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do March either.
Yeah.
And what is it? March what?
March 30th to the 2nd.
Yeah, well, it doesn't fall on her birthday, but still, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
What about Heroes Con? Is that a good one? I've heard good things about Heroes Con.
I did really well at Heroes.
Didn't I just say Heroes Con? I just mentioned Heroes Con to you.
I did well at Heroes. Like, honestly, well, from a perspective of an artist, Heroes is a great show.
Yeah.
I've done Heroes 3 years in a row, and each year, like, I make a killing. It's a really, really good show for artists. And like Phil mentioned, if you know, it's a really good show for fans.
Yeah.
I'd sell a lot of like my original stuff at Heroes.
Yep.
Commissions are great. Like if you're doing something that's not too high end, right? So I tend to I sell a lot of my sketch cards at Heroes. Yep. You know, because that's something that's it takes me 10-15 minutes to knock out in full color.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not doing anything that's like super big, you can do pretty well. I mean, this last year, this last Heroes was okay. I did better the previous year, but it was still a pretty decent turnout. Puerto Rico, great show.
I hear that a lot.
The fandom in Puerto Rico, dude, they're like, it's like they're starved for.
Well, there's nothing else, right?
And man, I do really, really well in Puerto Rico.
Awesome.
I have someone I can stay with out there too. So.
In Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he was kind of like a surrogate father for a while.
I remember you telling me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, hopefully, dude, this incoming year, like you can get out of Australia and link up with us at one of these shows.
That'd be great. I'd love that.
Same.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Get the gang together. Get all the legendary crew together.
Indeed.
And the people that watch the show come out. That'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
Don't call him Poppy. He's so stupid. Man, I hope a dog bites your ass when you deliver FedEx. We're going to wrap this up in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But if anybody has questions about the contest, feel free to DM me, but at least wait until I make the post before you ask questions, because the post may answer the questions. If you're interested, you have the script ready to go. You don't have to wait. You can send it to me. That's fine. And we'll go from there. I hope a lot of people jump on and take this opportunity. Also, I understand as a writer, you may not want more competition, but share it out and let them know, because the bigger the contest gets, it really is better for everybody.
True
It
indeed.
really is.
Rising tide, rising tide.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it really is. So let everybody know about this contest, please. If you're an artist and you have writer friends, it's a good chance to get a job. Aaron,
Mhm.
if you know some writers that you're friends with, you tell them, look, I'll draw your book, and you work out whatever you're going to work out with them, and you get them to submit this thing.
There it is.
And again, if you don't have an artist and you're a writer, you don't have to worry. We have artists, and you see their quality. Again, you have to pay for your creative team, but we have artists available for you.
So real quick to that, would you? I guess it would need to be a discussion with the artist, right? If, say, for example, you have a writer that needs an artist, and say they want to, pay something up front, and then finish paying off the artist on the back end if the Kickstarter does well.
That's a good question.
I mean, it is an incentive for the writer or the creative team to promote.
I would have nothing to do with that if they're doing that with their creative team, right? Like if that writer they're picked and they pick Aaron or Tom to be their artist or whatever, colorist, etc. Right. That's for them to work out with them. But here's the thing: they don't get money off this Kickstarter.
Oh, I gotcha.
They don't get money off this Kickstarter. They get the exposure off the Kickstarter, and they get the free print run, and they'll get books for free off the print run.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they're gonna have to pay for that up front. Aaron says, "I don't know any writers. I keep dummies around, so I feel better." He's so stupid.
That works.
420 friend comedy, comic, or action. I'd rather go with the action, Tom, if I'm going to be honest. Like I said, I don't begrudge anybody. You do you. I don't judge anybody for doing their thing, but I have my standards that I want for my company and my products, and I want to maintain those. And that's not a snobby thing. It's just, we're reaching certain age groups and demographics, and I don't drugs and sex. I'm not really big on. You may say, well, violence is okay. Well, again, PG-13 violence. I'm not looking at peeling faces off and stuff.
It's not Mortal Kombat,
right? Because there has to be some limit to what we do with this. It can't be just over the top. Because also, think about it as a writer, you want to reach the biggest demographic you can. So you don't want to be doing anything that isolates, or is a genre, such a tight genre or a cult following, or is going to alienate half your audience, right? I mean, if you're doing something that a parent isn't going to want their 14-year-old kid to look at, you just screwed yourself, or someone who's maybe anti-drug or anti-sex, like sexuality like that, boobs, or is religious, you want to try to be at least for this book, because you're trying to increase your audience. It would be
sure. You want to keep it general,
keep it neutral, keep it general. Yeah, and I don't want any politically charged books either, because that is going to be a reflection on my company. If you want to put Biden's an a-hole or Trump is an a-hole, I don't want it. It's not in there, because you're alienating 50% of your company, of your fan base. No, Sammy the Bean would be fine, Tom. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Just understand that tragedy isn't for kids. Tragedy is probably PG-13. It's 13 or older. So as much as I would entertain and accept, a script like that and look at it, I don't know if it would maximize what you're looking for to have a kid's story on the back of my teen to adult story. And I'm even going to help you all out. My demographic right now is predominantly, it's about 60-something% males between the ages of 25 and 60. And the other percentage is females between the ages of 18 and 35. that is what my book has been targeting, mostly. I mean, there's exceptions to those demographics, of course. I've had women older than 35 buy the book, and you know, but the readership has been pretty much that as well. Well, actually, I'd say 40 for women, not 35. It's about 40. So, let that guide you in what you send in, because you want to maximize this opportunity as best as possible, right? You may not be making money on the Kickstarter, but you're not spending money on a print run or anything. And you may say, yeah, but I have to pay for the 10 pages. Okay, but you know what? You're going to get
investment.
to sell the book, and you're going to make money back if people buy your book.
Well, if you want to break in the industry, you'd be paying for that 10 pages anyway. What you're actually getting is the other stuff, the added bonus, like the marketing, the advertising, the Kickstarter insight. You're getting all of that. That is all learning tutorial stuff that you'd have to buy a course probably to go learn. So,
yeah.
No, I get you, Tom. I'm giving you these straight up answers, not necessarily for you, but anybody who's listening. It'll help them with any thoughts they have or questions. I want everybody to succeed. I can only pick one winner, but I want everybody to do their best. And I don't want to put you in a losing position. I want to put everyone in a winning position, and may the best person win. So that's why I just offer this information. It's information that's useful. Knowledge is power. And it's not necessarily directed at you, Tom, but when you pose the question, they're great questions for me to answer and help other people. So there's that. We're going to wrap this up. Kenny's got family to see. Hey, Joe, sorry you showed up as we're wrapping up. Hope you're enjoying your vacation.
Joe Ryan.
In a world where Joe Ryan is in Florida.
Joe Ryan,
In
NASCAR driver.
In a world where Joe is tardy to the live stream.
Joe Ryan, what you gonna do, brother?
Joe Ryan, Space Ranger. I think we just give him a theme each time we say his name.
Yeah, Joe it was a wrestling theme tonight for whatever reason. And when I announced these guys, I was kind of announcing like wrestlers, and like we're pretending they had theme music. So that's why we're doing this. Joe would be like Leaping Lenny Poffo. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
That's a deep dive. That's a deep dive.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. We're continuing next week, of course, as we are. We're just going to remind everybody of a few quick things before we wrap it up. One, Legendary Illustrations art sale this Monday, Cyber Monday, 8 p.m. on my Phil Russert page. Great art that I have in hand for great prices. So, Joe Switchblade Ryan. So, guys are heroes. So, and you know what you can do, Joe? You can have like do like greased back hair, right? And you remember those old pocket combs that were like switchblades?
Yes.
You can, like, whip it out and it's a pocket comb and just do like a John Travolta on your hair. That'd be great. Anyway,
my hair keeps hitting my hair.
Yeah, my hair keeps hitting my hair. So we have the art sale Monday. Will is losing air.
Losing it? Mine's gone, man.
It's like it's kind of like his old girlfriend that he bit in the boob. She farted and flew out the window.
What?
Anyway.
On the next live stream, I'm going to be John Travolta.
Yes.
Oh, Jeremy Kirby's here, and he's got a wow face. He's like, God, these guys are horrible. How you doing, Jeremy?
And the cats.
I got skills. They're multiplying. They're losing control.
Buy my art Cyber Monday. Hey.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I got a lot of it.
What? Where? When? How? Why? Mr. Carter.
I just love that line. I got skills. Just leave it at that. I got skills.
I got skills.
It's no
Got
big
skills.
deal. I should do it. It's the no big deal sale.
It's not a big deal. Get
It's
out
not-
of here.
By the it's not a big
Monday
deal.
night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Facebook page, Philip Russert. I'll be doing a live art sale. Please come out and support the artists. It'll be affordable art. Great gifts for yourself or for others for the Christmas and Hanukkah seasons and every other holiday that's out there. So please check that out. I want to remind you that this Thursday, my book, my prose book, The Devil is in the Details, is out on Kickstarter. Please check it out.
It's
I
wild.
appreciate it. And remember, it's wild. And remember that the first story, short story in it, Withered, is going to be a comic book starting in March. A continuation of the story is going to be in comic form in March, illustrated by Will Squeaky Wheel Clayton. We're going to start calling him Will Squeaky Wheel Clayton.
I'm holding it in. I'm trying not to be rude. It's hard.
Oh man, I'm gonna stop. I'm a bad influence.
Christopher Walken is the new Professor X. That'd be great. I can't do it. Christopher Walken. I can't do it.
the X gene awakens.
So yeah, Aaron goes. None of you weirdos asked what I'm drawing, and I'm offended. Well, get over yourself, you thin-skinned bitch. Anyway, I'm just what are you drawing, Aaron?
It came from left field. It's wild.
He said, he goes, I can't pay you all that, right? So actually, before we go, Gerald, what do you got for us? Gerald, what do you got for us? Aaron, what do you got for us? Say thin-skinned bitch in a Travolta voice. There you go.
Hit Phil in the DM with your photos. Hey. Watch my hair. It's wild.
Oh, I'm dying. I'm dying.
All right, yeah, well, we got to wrap this up, guys.
Yeah, I
On that note.
gotta spend some time with my mom.
Everybody knows this is Kenny's piece. It's 2 I Love My 17s put together so far. There's a scene
So
with
far.
Thundercats so far.
That's
Got a lot
awesome,
more coming.
Kenny.
Got Wily Kit on the turret on top of the Thunder Tank. Got
Nice.
Link so
Link-So.
drafted in real nice. And then this is my composition for Bengali. He's gonna be holding the hammer of Thundera.
All
right?
right.
And I'm gonna put Pumaira right behind him so that we can complete the core group, and then I'll be adding the details of the Thunder Tank in these little patches of negative space, so we can give it a layer of robustness, if you will.
Mm.
You know,
It's
and
like,
then
robust, man.
yeah, it's wild. And then I think I'm gonna add 2 more pages on both sides and add some villains.
Nice.
Sweet. You have to do the Lunatax.
All right, I'll take that into
All
consideration.
right.
Throw the Lunatics in the back. Just don't touch my
Gerald-
hand. It's wild.
Gerald said there's too many characters, so he'll have to show it later on. Okay, Gerald, no problem. Aaron, what are you drawing, Aaron? So you don't go crying. Chris Miller said, "Awesome work, Kenny."
Thank you.
And Chris knows art. He's a big collector. He's a good guy. I screwed
He's
up,
a
and
good
he was
guy.
very forgiving. And now we're gonna go show you Yukon Cornelius.
All right. So today was working on Frankenstein Jr.
Before you get into it,
Yeah.
I'm on the first floor, and I'm underneath my wife's, my youngest daughter's bedroom, and every night my wife hums to her to help her go to sleep, and I hear my wife humming like she's in the next room, like she's right here. That is so crazy. I thought it was being haunted and shit. All right,
It's wild.
go ahead. You
It's wild.
were saying. Wow.
Oh god. All right. Do you want to just do a tour?
You are
through?
not
Just have a-
drawing tragedy. Sorry, he said he's drawing. What did you say? Tragedy? What? I saw it and I passed it. Tragedy, the Streetwalker story. That's what he says he's drawing. Yeah, let's see
Terrible.
that. Some girls from Chainsaw Man.
So
Ooh,
So
Frankenstein
there's
Jr. was
Frankenstein
today.
Jr. Wow, look at the texture.
great
on that.
texture.
Wow.
I love
That's
that.
today. Getting that in. So as we move down, we're going to be. I've got a little bit more to do on Avenger. A little bit of feathering work to do there. It's as we move down, we're going to be working on
Jan and Jace.
yes, and then Blip at the bottom,
Nice.
and then Space Ghost at the very bottom there.
That looks great.
And then I'm just going to eventually move over, and then my tour behind my tour, we're going to have the Galaxy Trio
Nice.
in here, and then you've got the rest of the Herculoids. So we've got Gleep and Gloop, and we've got what's the main guy's name again, Phil?
Oh jeez. Oh my God, the kid always calls him by his first name too, not father. What the
Yeah,
hell?
it's weird.
And I was like, show respect, little punk.
Yeah, Blink once for help. Yeah. So
I'll
he's
get
gonna
it for you. Yeah.
he'll be riding Tundra, the shooting off the sort of meteors at the top here, and then we'll go up here and we'll do the Impossibles flying up in the
Xandor.
corner here. Xandor, there we go. And then we'll have the Impossibles up here,
Nice.
and Mytor's Dragon flying off in the distance.
Very sweet.
So
Sweet
eventually we'll
candy
get down to the bottom.
Sweet candy nuts.
There you go.
So Chris said, masterful as always, Will. Kudos. Will has a knack for painting everything I like.
Perfect. I like hearing that. Thank you.
This will be for sale when he's done. It's a double page. It's two 11x17s on top, one on top of the other.
And it won't be for sale twice, will it, Phil?
You dick. You dick. What a dick. Oh my God.
That's
You know
in the
what?
fine print. That's a disclaimer.
Chris, you see how they treat me? You see how they treat me, Chris? I try to help them, make them money, make these nobody losers like Will into something. And you
In
see how
saying
they
that, though,
treat
I
me?
love doing that Masters Universe piece, Chris. It was lots of fun. Lots of fun.
And when I say these losers, I really just mean Will. That's his pronoun, these.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we have a lot of fun in this show. Sometimes we get a little raunchy. Hopefully, it doesn't offend. If it does, then we're not the show for you. But we're just having fun. You know, comics and art are supposed to be fun, and I think the business side of things has, and the investment side of things, has kind of hurt that a little bit. So come here every Friday, 7 p.m., and laugh with us, joke with us, have a good time, all at the expense of Will, and look at great art.
It'll give you chills. Wild.
All right. All right.
Oh, too funny.
Look, we're gonna end this strong, right? Will?
Oh, God, no. Come on. Now. Can you go to a different quote of something else? Come
No,
on.
that's my ending. It's always been my ending for years now. Deal with it, adapt, learn, and get better. So I don't know if you people have watched my show when I'm interviewing people in the industry, but I always end it with "Be legendary and have fun, storm at the castle." Because that's from Princess Bride, which is a great movie, and the book is funny. So these guys ended for me, and when Will says his part, I feel like ending myself. Will tries to do the old Jewish Billy Crystal accent with his Australian accent, and it sounds like kind of like a hick amalgamation with a mentally disabled person.
Great. So you're half right. You're half right.
So, all right, remember, art sale Monday at 8 p.m. And Thursday, the 1st of December, I'm launching my prose book on Kickstarter. This is really near and dear and special to me. It's really important. It's a really inspiring book. I really hope you come check it out. And it's only $12. All right. And remember that contest. I'm gonna list the rules and everything. And tell a friend if you know somebody that's a writer. Tell them we have the writers contest. They have a good opportunity here to get their work out there. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey. Great.
Well, I mean, Chris, I can always tag you if you want. I try not to be a pain with the tags, and I only tag people if I really know that they don't mind. So if you want me to tag you and remind you on Monday, I can tag you, Chris. It's up to you. And again, if you don't spend money, you just come hang out. That's fine. You know? Yeah, Chris said it. Be legendary. All right. So, guys, let's do this. You ready? Thanks, Chris. I will.
Oh, you want me to start? Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Hey. All right.
That's the best. Do it like that.
Hey, be legendary. Don't hit my head.
Oh, how can I say it now? All right. And have fun storming the castle.
That is just the
That's fun storming the castle. Oh.
And don't mess up my head.